Watching English films could motivate the students and interest in learning listening skill. Therefore, the English teacher could carry out the watching English films to improve students' listening skill. Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Adnan Zaki, and this time I will present about improving students' listening ability by watching English films. This presentation is divided into 5 parts. The first is background, the next is literature review, the next is methodology, the next is finding and discussion, and the last is conclusion. Okay, the first is background. Everybody has learned their language since they were children, especially their mother tongue. The process occurs naturally and properly with a view to communicate in society environment. Listening ability in English as a foreign language also plays an important role in building communication skill. English films is one of media which is very good to be used to improve students' listening comprehension. It could help sensitivity to students' sense of hearing. The influence of watching English films is improving student skill. Okay, the next is literature review. Listening as a major component in language learning and teaching first hit spotlight in the late 1970s with James Asher's work on total physical response, in which the role of comprehension was given prominence as learners were given great quantities of language to listen to before they encouraged to respond orally. Similarly, the natural approach recommended a significant silent period during which learners were allowed the security of listening without being forced to go through the anxiety of speaking before they were ready to do so. Brown, 1994. Proust, 1999, proposed that in order to define listening, we can ask two basic questions. What are the component skills in listening and what does a listener do? Rose 1999 says successful listening involves an integration of this component skill. In this sum, listening is a coordination of the component skills, not the individual skill themselves. This integration of these perception skills, analysis skill, and synthesis skill is what we will call a person's listening ability. The next is methodology. The study was conducted by organizing the qualitative and quantitative data. The qualitative data were taken from observation sheet and diary notes. The quantitative data were taken from the mean of sound production test and the questionnaire. This research was conducted in one class with 35 samples. It was accomplished in 2 cycles. Every cycle consists of the 4 steps of action research: planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. Finding and discussion. Based on the analysis above, it is found that teaching by using English films give significant improvement to the students' listening comprehension. In teaching learning process, the students paid attention to the lecture instruction and they were watching the films seriously. The students were interested in listening by watching the short English film. It can be seen from response given by the students. Based on discussion above, students get improvement in listening comprehension through listening and watching to the short films. This improvement was also supported by the qualitative data. Diary notes and observation sheets support the improvement of students' listening comprehension through watching English films. Okay, the last is conclusion. Based on the finding of this research, it is concluded that using medias by watching the English short films is effective to improve the students' listening comprehension. Their comprehension improved from the cycle 1 and then it was getting higher on cycle 2. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.